mortar opening fire, probably going to be here, and a tank moving towards this point, probably trying to going to catch these riflemen out in the open, where they'll be suffering heavy penalties for being caught there. It looks like he has gone for the machine gun upgrade again. That's something I'd recommend. Sticky bomb going off, and riflemen retreating, having delivered the sticky bomb, deciding they are not going to be of much use beyond that. Mortar fire landing, not really hitting anything it seems, though causing a retreat on the riflemen after they've seized the victory point. Another armored car moving out. In fact, I think numerous armored cars it seems up for the American commander. And we see the off-map combat group 2 M10 tank destroyers, a mortar and another rifleman team. That's certainly advantageous and is going to leave the Panzer Division's single tank in a lot of trouble, alongside whatever other assets he might still have left. Rushing in a armored car right into the middle of things, perhaps not the brightest idea. Flak feelings opening fire, the AE guns tearing through the light armor of the armored cars and damaging the engine before causing the thing to blow up in a vast explosion, leaving one rifleman caught inside. Now the M10s are moving into fire from a range, already doing some damage to the flak feeling. Panzerschrecks moving in, stalking the M10s, causing quite a lot of damage to the one of them, in fact almost knocked out and not pulling it back. It seems Massimaliano is not caring about the losses at all, apparently having a bit of a Soviet commander in him. Mortar fire providing cover, in fact, and causing heavy losses to the Panzer Grenadiers caught out in the open themselves as riflemen and rangers moved in as well. And it does not look like his mortars any success in actually hitting anything. And the American mortar has gained veterancy 1. Rangers caught out in the open with some incendiary rounds from the half-track and a few hits from the flak feeling, which is in fact has actually killed 4 American troops. Impressive, although I'm not sure how that happened or when. Small blockade here preventing any further movement. The Panzer IV tried to get anywhere, but the engine is damaged, so it's going to be happening at a very slow pace. M10 being repaired while the armored car is watching and providing security detail. Certainly looks grim for Hauptmann RJ, who has lost most of his forces, suffered heavy attrition and a bit of an unfortunate focus on anti-tank when the majority of his enemy's forces have for the most part been composed of infantry, rather focused on dealing with the Panzer Grenadiers. Another charge out in the open, no cover, and now we see artillery going in. This is going to get very dangerous. Oh dear, numerous Panzer Grenadiers lost. Further heavy losses, in fact. I do believe half the entire squad was wiped out in the artillery fire there. Brutal losses, and I think a bit characteristic of how things have gone so far with his seemingly disregard for actually using cover and engaging the enemy in good positions, which is rather essential to playing as the Panzer Elite, as you don't want to give the enemy any further advantage. And a completely carbon copy of the previous call-in: 2 tank destroyers, a rifleman team, and a mortar. Certainly going to only dig RJ's grave even deeper. Panzer IV driving around, going to be focused down and choosing to lock down with the side open. This is not good. You don't want to leave the side open, since the Americans could just get rear shots on it. Oh dear. Sticky bombs completely immobilizing the poor thing. And this rather old semi-obsolete Panzer IV is going to be wrecked in seconds, with a M10 joining in as well. Surviving a lot of shots, but completely blown up, and the gunner flying out and crashing into the cold, unforgiving ground. One can only hope he was dead before he landed.
The enemy is down to 100 points.
And another complete charge out in the open, a human wave attack. It seems not really the thing I'd recommend as Panzer Elite commanders, but it does seem that it is something some players favor instead of cover and a bit more tactical approaches to fighting. I suspect that is one of the major reasons he lost that, and his general bad survivability abilities of the infantry, and a loss for the 116th Panzer Division, wiped out by the American forces of the 4th Infantry Division under Major Massimaliano. A big congratulations for him as his forces march further into Festung Europa. So I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you learned something, like using cover, like retreating your Panzer Grenadiers in time, and also being able to focus on what you're actually dealing with instead of getting a lot of Panzerschrecks when you're in fact dealing with riflemen and rangers. So if you enjoyed this game, why not subscribe or tell your friends? And this is Imperial Dane saying, remember to use that bloody damn cover.